Hey, I think we should start a podcast.
You're a podcast! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of You're a Podcast.
Hi.
All right, I am one of your hosts, Austin Kassler, and this is my lovely wife.
I'm Faith.
And she is lovely.
I am.
She is, every time. But this is going to be a special episode for you guys here today. We, when this gets released, we'll have been together. It's our anniversary episode.
Woo!
Yeah, we're
Happy
going...
anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary to us.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah,
When this comes out.
exactly. So we'll have been together for 10 years. So this is our 10-year anniversary episode.
One whole decade.
Yeah,
Crazy
so soon
pants.
to podcasting, having a 10-year anniversary episode.
I know.
It's
Crazy.
amazing. But yeah, so we figured it was special for us, so we wanted it to be special for you guys too. We've been in love with each other for nearly 10 years now.
Yes, we have.
And there's these questions that you can ask and answer to each other, and they're supposed to make you fall in love.
Yeah, it seems kind of strange because they're advertised as being like something to ask like pretty early into a relationship, like first date shit. And it's like getting deep real quick, I guess.
Yeah, they get pretty deep, but
Good way to get to know someone, I guess.
it's a great way to get to know
Quickly.
someone, and that's kind of what we figured would be good for this episode of the podcast, for you guys to get to know us a little bit better.
And
You've
for us to fall in love again.
Exactly. You've been listening to us for quite some time, but now you get to fall in love with us.
Yes.
So get ready for that.
Yeah, it's going to be creepy. We're going to have stalkers now.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm
We're
excited.
not that interesting. All right.
I like that I went with I'm excited and you went with we're not that interesting.
Not interesting enough to stalk. I don't do anything. It's going to be really easy to find me.
Yeah. It'd be
You're
really
harder to
easy.
track down.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more all over the place, but I think I'd be quite exciting to stalk.
Well, good for you. I don't. I mean, think I will be. You'd be more interesting for certain than I am.
I mean, I think you're interesting, but
Yeah,
I get
I
to
mean-
actually like talk to you and stuff.
Yeah, at least like you're going places. More interesting to follow, you know? Like you're out and about. They can stop and get some food. Like me, they just got to sit outside. Like I notice them eventually. Like, excuse. Is there a reason you're staring at my house?
We have big windows, so
Very big.
maybe shouldn't say that when we're like inviting stalkers. So
Sorry, ignore that. We have small windows and they're very secure.
basically
And Austin's
live,
always home.
basically live in a concrete brick.
Yes.
It's very boring.
Extremely.
Don't
Anyways,
All right, so you want to
get
just jump right
started?
into these questions?
sure. I have them up here. You guys can Google them too if you feel like falling in love with someone. I just typed in questions to fall in love. First link. This is the first set of questions. Ready?
Oh, how many
Given-
sets are there?
I don't know, like 3. There's 36 questions total.
Oh, strap in, ladies and gents.
Might be a long one. Sorry. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
As
Easy
a dinner
one.
guest.
I think they have to be alive. We're going to go with alive.
Oh, we're going with alive.
I'm going with alive.
Is it like because in my head it's like movie stars and stuff. right?
Anyone. It doesn't even have to movie star. Like hypothetically, if you had like a long lost relative or someone like super interesting that you just like, you know, that's not famous, but like they've broken a world record or something, you know, just someone.
That's pretty fun. The first one that comes to mind is like I'd say like Christian Bale, you know, because he's a good actor, but because he goes to such extremes for his roles, you know.
I feel like because he's in such interesting roles, though, he'd be like a snore. Like he's probably really boring.
It does have the potential for that, but just to like see what his mindset is, because he would get like huge for the Batman movies and then like
Wither down.
almost die getting skinny for other roles.
I feel that.
Like,
It's a weird first pick.
I don't know, just like the extent that he goes to for
The dedication.
these, it interests me.
I feel you.
I feel like it'd be interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think Like off the top, I'd have to go with like JK, you know.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
Rowling. She's queen. But also the girl that I started following recently, that's the youngest girl, the youngest person to ever travel to every single country in the world, Lexi something or another. That'd be cool to talk to somebody. She's 21 and she's been to every single country in the whole world.
That is
She's
crazy.
probably got a lot of experience, a lot of tips for travel. She's probably got a lot of crazy stories going all over the place, pretty much alone most of the time. I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be a really interesting one.
Yeah.
A lot of good conversation and stuff.
She'd probably carry the conversation. I like that in a person.
Yeah, I could see why you would
With
pick
like
that.
J.K. Rowling, though, I'd be like,
Too nervous.
I love you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd get a little stalkery.
Yeah. I would say like a different one for me, like also would be like maybe like John Mulaney or like
Some big comedian.
yeah, as like a comedian. Well, because I mean he puts out like so many specials and he's so funny, he's so well renowned. Like he'd just be an interesting person to like pick his brain. Or like Bert Kreischer would be like a great dinner guest, I would feel like.
He'd just be entertaining.
Just so entertaining. But you know, then there's other comedians who like Sebastian Maniscalco, I'd like love to meet, but I wouldn't want him to be in my house because he would just judge it the whole time.
like
You
a
know,
lot.
I'd be so nervous about everything being perfect.
I feel that. Okay. Question number 2. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Would you like to be famous, and in what way?
I mean, yeah, comedian,
Yeah.
but not so much for like the fame recognition of it.
Yeah. You just want to be a comedian.
I would like to be paid well to just be me.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like,
the dream.
It's the dream, and I like making weird thoughts and trying to make jokes, you know, just in conversation all the time. And I love telling stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so if I could get paid and paid well to do that,
Be rad.
it'd be rad. I mean, it's the same reason why I wanted to be like a professional chef, because I love cooking the whole time. But guys, cooks don't get paid shit.
No.
Almost no money. And you have to work your ass off to do it.
You
So
have to be some big shot. You have to be more of a business person, like a smart entrepreneur and restaurateur to make money. And even then, it's like a risk.
yeah, well, I mean, you have to like own your own restaurant, and it has to be a successful
Yeah,
restaurant.
you have to be smart business-wise.
Yeah,
Good
or-
business mind.
Or be like a celebrity chef.
But you got to be a celebrity chef. You got to get there first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, I don't think I would. I wouldn't like to be famous like how people think about famous people, you know, like movie stars or musicians or like big comedians. Like I wouldn't want to be famous to the point where like someone could get paid for taking my picture, like if they were like following me in like paparazzi style. I like my privacy. I have social anxiety, so if like random people were to come up to me constantly like asking me stuff, that would cause me some issues. Like I'm fine with talking to people. It's just if it was all the time, so I wouldn't mind being famous. Like I'm trying to like write a book, so I wouldn't mind the occasional person being like, oh, that's Faith. Oh my God. Like how cool. Like I'm such a big fan of your books, and just like leaving me alone. Like my picture's not worth anything to anyone, you know?
Well, you could also just
Medium famous.
You could also just use like a pseudonym and not put your picture on the back of the book.
Yeah.
You know?
I would rather do that.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, no, I'm not trying to get famous doing anything.
Would you use
A pseudonym?
Yeah, like a false name to.
No.
No.
I don't think I'll use my full name now that it's so long, but I'm not going to use a different name. It's still going to be Faith or F, you know?
Yeah.
F dot whatever. Some variation on my name or initials.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't want to be, I wouldn't mind being medium famous. That's my answer to that.
Yeah.
Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? Why? What a random question.
Yeah. No. Not on telephone calls.
You don't rehearse what you're going to say in life, ever.
When I go up on stage, I do a lot.
Yeah.
Especially if it's, you know, if I'm somewhere that I'm like, I really, really want to do good. I like recite like the parts of jokes that I want to nail. like or parts of stories and like the taglines that I want to hit and stuff, like I punch those up in my head a lot, like right before I go up. But with phone calls, like unless it's really important, I'm like it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. If I'm calling someone for a reason, I will, because of the social anxieties. I like to be prepared. If I'm just like calling my sister or something, or just like someone calls me, I'm not thinking about that really. But yeah, if I call to like make an appointment for something, or, you know, I have a question that I need to ask a business or something, yes, I 100% rehearse what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So that I'm prepared. Because sometimes otherwise I might say something totally stupid and then my anxiety gets the best of me and then I have a whole thing. I might do one of those like stupid word flips where you accidentally say like bottle waddle instead of water bottle.
That's going to happen whether or not you practice it.
Yes, that's true. But still.
I think if anything, it'll make you say it more.
I don't know.
'Cause you're all nervous and get tongue twisted.
When I was doing dispatch, people used to always say that they would accidentally say when they were doing the phonetic alphabet, for like B, it's Baker, and for L, it's Lincoln. And they would accidentally say bacon liquor instead of Baker Lincoln. And I never did it because I was so scared of doing it. Every time there was a B and an L, I'd be like, Baker Lincoln. No bacon liquor for me. No. Thank you.
I'm bacon liquor anyways.
You do like bacon.
I like me bacon.
So, next one. Ready?
Yeah.
Are you guys in love with us yet? Number 4. What would you constitute as a perfect day?
Oh, a perfect day?
Perfect. Perfect. What is that? Oh, Fifth Element. Perfect woman. She's perfect. It's weird. Great movie.
that is a good movie.
Okay, your perfect day.
I think I think I'd wake up somewhere like not here, you know, like, although waking up here would be fantastic, but like, I feel like traveling has like a certain element of like surprise and unknown that I get like excited about.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause it's like you wake up and you're like, I kind of know what I'm going to do, but I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know? So like you wake up and you like, you know, that feeling like when you travel and you wake up and then you like for a second forget that where you are. Yeah. And then you're like, holy shit, I'm in France.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah. I got so much cool stuff to see today.
Right. And you got to sleep and you get to sleep in.
You're well rested.
And then you're like, holy shit,
you got great food to look forward to.
Yeah. I'm somewhere awesome.
Yeah.
And then depending on who you're with.
Yeah.
If it's just me and you and like we can go and like get breakfast somewhere, that's awesome. But I feel like if you're with like a group of people, it's almost more fun to like make breakfast.
Yeah.
You know? Because if you're with a bunch of people, then you just like talk and bullshit and you like, you know, some people can help with stuff and
do the whole thing.
Yeah, do the whole thing if you got like a space to do it.
Yeah.
You know? And then just like explore, you know, like hang out with a bunch of people, like maybe even family, you know, explore around someplace new. And then, like if you're in an English speaking country and you can go, if I can go and do comedy, like that'd be great. Like if, you know, if the cool place I wake up is like New York.
Yeah.
And then like go do comedy at night and then like come back and still have people be awake and like hang out and like maybe have a few drinks or, you know, not necessarily like a party, but have like people there who you can just like talk and hang out and, you know, whatever, feel comfortable and then go to sleep.
I feel you.
I feel like that's a pretty damn good day.
Sounds like a good day. Sounds like an adventure.
I feel like my perfect day has too many people around for you.
Well, I was gonna say, when people talk about the perfect day, I feel like as an introvert, it's hard to say because a good amount of my perfect days would just be like hanging out with like just you or like just my animals or just alone and like enjoying the sunshine and toasting and having a great book.
You
and
do
some good
like
food.
toasting.
Yeah, toasting, aka is when you lay in the sunshine and just get toasty warm.
Yeah. Faithful toasty boy.
I'm a toasty boy. But also, flip side, perfect day is like the day after our wedding. We're somewhere new, we're somewhere beautiful. We wake up with this beautiful view of the woods and the river, and I know that all the people I love are there.
Yeah.
And they're all there just to hang out and do nothing. Like the day of our wedding was awesome, but there was so much stress leading up to the actual wedding. So like the day after was perfect. We knew that we didn't have anything to do. We could do whatever we wanted. We could have just walked around naked in the woods if it pleased us, and no one would have cared.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
that was a perfect day.
That was pretty, like, it's basically everything that I described in my perfect day except for the comedy part.
Yeah.
Like,
My perfect day, there's one of two, you know, either I'm just enjoying my alone time, hanging out, reading a good book in front of a fire, toasting, or outside toasting. If it's sunny, I hope it's sunny, and my perfect day. And then getting some tasty foods. And then on the flip side, another perfect day is spending time with all the people I love. And like that night we had like a bonfire and we listened to good music and we just laughed and talked, and that was a good time too. So there's two perfect days for me.
And that's kind of what I meant by like when I came back and there were people around, you know, that I'm comfortable with and we can have a few drinks and like hang out and bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and party and bullshit.
Yeah, except for I don't like to party very much. I just like to hang out. I don't like to do that drink.
Drink.
Okay. When did you last sing to yourself? Just now.
Like right now. you guys just heard it.
Good job, guys.
I just went and party and bullshit. It wasn't very long singing to myself.
We constantly sing to ourselves. And to someone else just now. I sing to you all the time. I have a whole song about broccoli. Broccoli, broccoli, brocca, ha 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 ha.
We sing that every time we go grocery shopping.
Yep, every time we need broccoli, that's what happens.
We got to do a podcast episode where we just like run through all of our songs.
All of our weird songs. That's one I always tell Austin if he ever leaves me that he'll never look at broccoli the same way because he'll always sing that song. Okay, we sing all the time. End of that question. Number 6. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or the body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, so you're going to live a really long time at this point. Okay. And you're living to 90. So from 30 on, you either retain your mind or your body. Which one would you want?
That's kind of a tough one because like 90-year-olds...
Depends on the 90-year-old.
It depends on the 90-year-old because like my great-grandpa Chico, when he was 90, he was still like running around. He was still doing good until he like broke his femur when he was like 95.
Wasn't he like lost in space?
That was the dementia that kicked in at the end. That's what I'm saying. When he was 98 years old.
So that was at the end. I didn't know how long into his life he got dementia.
That was like 2 months before he died.
That's not bad then.
No, he was.
If you're gonna die at 90.
Yeah, but at like 95, he like broke his femur, and that's when he started going downhill. But when he was 90, he was still pretty active. And so like,
you wouldn't mind having his mind.
Yeah. So like, if I had like my mind now and was still able to do that kind of stuff like he was, then like my mind, absolutely. But
what about the flip side though? If you had your body and his mind, because he was still able to do stuff and like think, and he wasn't crazy yet at 90.
Well, see, but the thing is, he started losing his mind because he couldn't do anything.
But that was after 90. You're going to die at 90. He said he died at 98.
That's true.
So he didn't go crazy until close to his death.
That's true.
You would be dead. You wouldn't be crazy.
Just dead and happy.
You just have like you just think weird things and say inappropriate stuff.
But that's pretty fun. All right. I think it's my mind. Because even if I can't do anything, I can just like say inappropriate things.
I feel you.
About it raining babies.
Yes, as we've discussed before. I think... Wait, so you're going to have a 30-year-old body or a 30-year-old mind?
A mind, 30-year-old mind.
You're going to have a 30-year-old mind. I think I would do the same thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Bodies are cool, but, you know, like, I don't know, looking the same age for 90 years, that's like hard to explain. To do some... I'd turn into a science experiment, really, is what would happen there. And... If Austin's gonna look old, what do I want to look young for? I mean, I guess you'd like just be like the king of the country club or whatever.
Now, if we're talking about the two of us, and I got to pick for you, I would definitely be 90 years old and married to a chick who looks 30, because that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, you'd be rad.
Yeah, I'd be super stoked about it. You'd be you'd be creeped out as fuck because you'd be banging a 90-year-old guy. But...
yeah, I wouldn't be banging you anymore. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Number 7. Do you have a secret hunch about how you're going to die?
Oh, a secret hunch?
Yeah, just like do you have a feeling in your hearty heart?
I'm real worried it's going to be a stroke.
Why?
I don't know.
What a random thought.
I'm real worried about it.
Do you have any history of stroke in your family?
No. But we'll see. So like the only people who I know who have died in our families, it's been like heart related stuff.
Yeah.
But they've also been old.
Yeah.
Or like, unnatural deaths. But
you don't think you're just going to like fall off of a cliff and die?
I only think that when I'm near cliffs. Yeah. But no, I actively avoid those situations. So I really don't think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm worried about it being a stroke because I don't think it'll take the first time.
So you'll just be sad.
Yeah.
You'll just be strokey. I feel you. Yeah. That could, I don't know why you have that hunch, but I can see why that would be scary.
It really freaks me out.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a hunch that I'm going to die that way, but it's more of like I'm worried I'm going to die that way.
Yeah. I feel you. I have worries that I could have a heart attack and die. Mm-hmm. My dad's side of the family, there's a lot of heart attacks over there and heart problems in general. There's a lot of heart attacks
on your dad's side.
And I get that like random stabbing pain sometimes in my heart. I had it checked out. They say there's nothing wrong besides that I'm stressed. I'm a stressing person. But I also think that's what could kill me is all my anxiety and my stress.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, I think that's how I'll die. Or you'll die before me and I'll die of a broken heart and loneliness.
I could see that too. I think that my lifestyle suggests that I would die sooner. I did obviously like a lot of...
But you're a healthier human.
Yeah, my genetics are really good.
Yeah. My genetics are good besides the heart attacks.
Yeah, but there's a lot of fucking heart attacks in your family.
Yeah. Dad's never had one. Just his siblings and my grandparents.
Yeah.
Only really on his side of the family. My mom's side of the family, shockingly. Not a whole lot of problems that she's aware of.
Yeah.
Because like my grandma, she was paralyzed, so.
Yeah, but that wasn't her fault.
That wasn't her fault.
Yeah.
And then like she didn't know her dad, so I don't know if he had things that she didn't know about.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so I could see that, but like, so I could see where my lifestyle would like make me die first, but you stress so much and it puts like such strain on your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I know I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
I try not to stress, but I can't help that. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Name 3 things that you and your partner, you and me, only appear to have in common. So I guess that's from the outsider looking in. What are 3 things we appear to have in common?
We're both
besides
hot
our
as
appearance.
fuck.
Yeah. Dark hair.
Yeah, we got dark hair.
We're both tall-ish. I mean, I'm tall, but he's the same height as me, pretty much.
Yeah, and we got nice pieces. You know what I'm saying? In the downstairs, they're just nice
Are you talking
all
about
around.
Our booties?
Huh?
Are you talking about our booties?
The
whole area.
The downstairs.
Whoa.
Is nice.
I hope the outsiders looking in aren't noticing that.
I mean,
the whole thing.
Pants can only cover up so much,
I feel you.
But no, so what it means like
it just says appear to have in common.
Okay.
It doesn't explain further than that. I think personality-wise, people are probably confused a lot about us.
We are kind of, if you get to know us at all, we're pretty opposites, but we have interests in a lot of the same things. And we both dress like we kind of like the same kind of music and are like both drawn to kind of like, not like creepy, but like weird stuff.
Yeah. I feel like people upon meeting me that know you really well. So like your friends meeting me for the first time, especially like your newer friends, not people we went to high school with, are genuinely like confused by me. Because I don't talk a lot. A lot of people think I don't like them, which is, I mean, you guys have heard me say, I don't like people in general, but that's not like, it's not like a hatred towards someone specific. I just like have a thing with people, I'm not a people person.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just really confused because you're like so out there and I'm just like over there like, hey.
I mean, we're definitely like an opposites attract type situation.
Well, it works because you're super like outgoing and like up in the air, and without me, you would never get anything done.
Yeah.
You need me, and I need you to pull me out of my shell. That's why we work.
Very accurate.
Yeah.
If I wasn't with you, I would just be
late to everything.
Out all the time. I'd be late to everything.
Broke as hell.
Did you say broke as hell?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm pretty good.
I'm just saying, like, you'd be out and like you probably would be like drinking and eating out more and like going out with friends and like doing out things.
Yeah, but I'd also be working a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't have anyone to come home to.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember when we were first dating and I was working in kitchens.
Yeah.
It was like...
You'd probably still be in kitchens.
I probably would still. I don't know.
I don't know either. Because I was like, dude, you're so in a rut with this job. Anyways, what do we appear to have in common? I think, like, to the outsider that doesn't know us, probably like our style.
Mm-hmm.
And then like our actual factual appearance. Like, we both have dark hair. We're both, I don't want to say like big boned, but we're both like, on the curvier, huskier side of things. I'm not husky, but I have a big butt and I'm like a curvy human.
You're a curvy person, which is good.
Yeah.
I like that.
And like height.
Yeah.
Okay. For what in your life do you feel the most grateful?
I mean, I'm really grateful that I got kind of a perspective of like living, like having to struggle for stuff and also being able to live comfortably.
Yeah.
Well, because like right now, like we're doing pretty good. Like we moved somewhere that we can live comfortably, and like we can afford microphones and a computer to do like a podcast to just talk at everybody for, a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And, and we don't have to be like, okay, like how are we getting our food together today? How are we, whatever.
Yeah.
But also like growing up when we were in Hawaii, like I remember us being like, okay, we have to go pick food.
Yeah. Which is fun as a kid, but then you realize like,
super fun as a kid, but then like you grow up and you're like, oh, like I can see what we were doing and what my parents were having to do, stretching a penny, putting water in your milk, to make it go further.
That's why you guys like whole milk.
Yeah. it was a delicacy. And like juice. Yeah. I don't think I had like full concentrated juice until I was like went to school and I was like, whoa,
what is wrong with this juice?
Yeah.
I feel that.
I feel like that's probably one of the things that I'm most grateful in life is that I got to see both sides.
Yeah.
And I feel like being able to see, that having to stretch a penny part makes me appreciate where we are right now, like so much.
Yeah.
So
I feel you. I am, I don't know, kind of grateful for like similar things. Like, I don't know, I'm grateful for where I'm at in life, which is a lot to do with how I was raised. I had a lot of responsibilities growing up, and I grew up really fast, and it made me appreciate, because I wasn't wealthy either. We were very poor growing up, and it made me appreciate a little more like what I have, and made me set goals for myself to like not struggle that way. Like it made me appreciate the things that I have and what you can live on. And set like, that's why I knew like we need to move out of California, because I would rather live somewhere that maybe, especially originally, I didn't like as much, and thrive and be happy and be successful and be able to afford the things that I want to do, because I'd rather do stuff than have stuff.
Yeah, totally.
So I am grateful for the life that I had that led me to have those thoughts. Nice. To be raised the way I was, kind of, sometimes. Because that leads right into the next question.
Okay. And you can just leave your phone unlocked.
Well, I know, but some of them take a while. So, if you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
Uh, I don't know. I'm pretty like I literally just said I appreciate the way that I was raised.
Yeah.
You know.
But anything.
I mean, I don't know if it's like changing the way I was raised, but I feel like I was as a kid kind of like really dismissive of my siblings.
Yeah.
Because I was the oldest kid, and I did feel like my younger siblings were just copying me a lot.
Yeah.
Because like
classic older sibling thing.
Yeah. Well, and as for me, like I was obviously older and like not by much, but like felt like, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I'm 2 years older than you. I have so much more life experience, and I would have to like think of stuff on my own and like be original and like try to figure out how to do all this stuff. And then like as a kid, I felt like my brother and sister were just kind of like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to take that. And I'm like, no, you have to figure it out.
Like I did.
Yeah, I did. And like as a kid, like you almost like resent your other siblings.
Yeah.
Which,
hindsight, you would have changed that.
I probably would have changed that, but I don't think that's a way I was raised type of thing, but it's something I would have changed about growing up.
Yeah.
So.
Piggybacking on what I just said about how I was raised kind of made me the person I am, which I do appreciate for the most part, except for I do believe that the way I was raised affected my anxieties and my stresses.
Yeah.
I would have changed the amount of responsibility I had so early in life. I would have changed a lot about my parents. So sometimes I think like, oh, if my parents had stayed together, but then I think about my parents as they are separately and how they are now and how they're both doing so much better. And I don't think if they had stayed together, anything would have changed. I think that they would have stayed the people that they were.
Yeah.
So I also like whenever I think that thought, I'm like, it doesn't make any sense for them to have stayed together. They would have been miserable, and who knows where I would have been in life. I might not have ever met you. I might not have the same life experiences. So I never really, I don't think I would make them get back together. I don't think I would have changed that really. It's just, I just had to grow up too fast sometimes. I think that.
Yeah.
And that would have changed a lot about my personality, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense that, anybody who's a child of divorce, how would you change the way that you grew up? Yeah. And you're like, have my parents, stay together. It's an obvious go-to.
Yeah, it's an easy answer.
Yeah, but you did have like, not only, I would say for you, like not only like a lot of responsibility growing up, but like a lot of like unsupervised responsibility. Like it wasn't like you just had like a lot of chores. It was like you had other people to take care of. Well,
this is our next question, is to take a couple minutes and tell our partner about our life story. So like we're going to get into this.
Oh, okay.
So, next question, 10. Tell me your life story in just a few minutes. It says 4 minutes specifically, but that seems a little excessive. So, give me your
it's
summary.
A whole life story, but for the listeners,
Yeah.
I was my mom and my dad got together. I was
and they fell in love, and then they made a baby.
Well, no, they made a baby, then they kind of worked it out.
And then they fell in love.
I was a bastard child. I was born out of wedlock. Which honestly makes sense because, nobody wants to be that big when walking down an aisle.
For real, though.
People
do it.
Oh, yeah, people do it. But I don't think anybody's like, I need to be pregnant and walking down
No, I don't think they need it. But some people, when they get pregnant, think they need to be married before they have it.
Yeah. But do you want to hear my life story?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So they got together. They made me. We moved to Hawaii when I was like a year old, and we lived there until I was like 5 or 6, something like that. And I remember some of it, which is pretty cool. We moved back. We moved in with my grandma and lived with her for a while. And I, for some reason, like always transferred out of my school area. So like I had like my friends that I grew up with and then my friends at school, which were like two wildly different groups of humans. Mm-hmm. So I kind of had like a weird like a chameleon personality, where because I had like
Tracks.
yeah, like two different groups that I hung out with, and like basically like two different attitudes, I guess. So yeah, I grew up there, and I really didn't move after that. Kind of
Just the one big one.
yeah, the one big move. Hung out there, went to high school, did really bad at high school, or went really bad at school, just in general. In elementary school, I think I was in second grade, and I remember the nurse telling me that I had, she told me that I have like schoolitis, and I was like, I don't know what that is, and she's like, it means you hate school, and I was like, I totally hate school.
You liked having friends.
I did. I like having friends, and I like talking.
The social part.
But yeah, I just hated school and kind of got dragged through that shit for 12 years. Actually, less than 12 years, because they kicked me out. You remember that.
I was there.
You were there, and that was
gloss over us meeting. Cool.
Well, so yeah, I met you in my junior year.
Yep.
I was friends with your sister first, and I was a real shithead and had a mohawk and
I liked it.
Yeah. But yeah, I got kicked out of school, and that's when I decided I kind of need to turn it around. I was drinking and doing a lot of other stuff.
A lot of that smoking.
And, you know, just looking for other stuff to do. And then I was like, okay, I need to actually get it together. And I did that, and I started working in kitchens and really liked doing that for a while. And then I was like, I'm kind of working myself to death here for $10 an hour. And I need to stop doing this. And yeah, now I'm trying to kind of be a comedian.
Yeah.
And telling you my life story.
That was good. Good job, 10.
Thanks.
I was born
Nice.
in Laguna Hills, California. And shortly after I was born, my parents got divorced, and then each of them remarried. Moved around a lot with my mom. Moved to Missouri for a little bit with one of her husbands. That wasn't great. And then I lived with my dad for a little bit in California. And then my mom moved back to California to take care of my grandma. And we lived with my mom mostly. And then my dad moved to Indiana, and I would go and see him back and forth. And then I moved to Indiana for a little bit, and then moved back with my mom and my grandma, because my grandma, as I mentioned a little bit ago, was paralyzed from the breast line down from a drunk driving accident. And my mom was her caregiver. And then we moved to Oregon because my mom got married. And we lived in Oregon for a little bit. And then after she got divorced or broke up with that husband, we moved back to California with my grandma. And then she met somebody else, and we moved to Virginia. I lived in Virginia for a little bit, and that was cool. I liked Virginia more than Indiana, where they called me chink because I looked too Asian, or Missouri because it sucked there. And then we moved back to California to be with my grandma again. And that was around when I started helping take care of my grandma in the morning times and after school. My mom, so she can have a second job. So me and my sister would take turns either getting her up in the morning or putting her to sleep at night. We'd get her up and out of bed and started taking care of her pretty much and helping with the food and the grocery shopping and all that while my mom had a second job so we could afford to live. Pretty much stayed in California after that, moved into a couple different apartments and whatnot, but mostly stayed with my grandma in her low-income housing area that she was in. I did okay in school for the most part. I didn't have a lot of friends. My sister just was super outgoing, so she would take me around and introduce me to her friends, and that was just kind of who I hung out with.
And that's how we met.
That's how we met, yeah. And then in high school, I had a boyfriend for like a second before Austin, and then Austin and me started going out. Never looked back. Then my grandma, who was paralyzed, passed away, and a whole lot of stuff happened, and I missed a whole bunch of school. So I transferred to the school that Austin went to, the continuation school, because I missed like a month and a half of school taking care of my mom. And I graduated a year early from high school, and I worked just doing retail stuff. And then I went to massage school, and I did that for a while. And then we saved up and moved away because my mom was causing issues in our lives.
Well, and also we just couldn't.
And we couldn't afford to move out down there because we wanted to move out of my mom's house, but we couldn't do that where we were. And I liked Oregon. I remembered when I was younger, and I had lived here for a little bit. So we came up here, and I got a job as a caregiver up here also. And then I got a job doing police dispatch and call taking for 911. And I did that for 3 years. And now I work for the county doing office assistant stuff. And that is my life. And we got married.
Yeah, and we got married.
We did that too.
That's something else.
That's something else. There you go. You guys know all about us now.
Yeah. Do you love us yet?
You should.
Yeah.
We're getting, halfway through the questions pretty much. You should love us. Okay. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be?
Probably to be more punctual.
Really?
I think so. Because,
are we going with, plausible abilities?
Oh, are we talking... You want to go with, superpowers?
I'm just saying, if I could wake up with any ability, I'd want to be able to speak any language.
Oh,
or, just have the ability to, learn a language, because I'm not good at that.
Okay, I thought we were going with, personality traits.
Let's do one of each.
Okay, so if it's, a personality trait, then, probably be more punctual. Because I'm late to a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And it would make me feel a lot better if I was actually, on time to it. Or, when I have a bunch of stuff to get done during the day.
You did it.
If I actually did it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Not like a superpower, something you could actually do, an actual, if you wanted to play an instrument, not I want to teleport, just something cooler than punctuality.
Not superpower, but also not something
that takes actual work and talent, but you just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think the punctuality thing would fix most of the stuff
yeah.
In my life that I need to get done. Just having the the not being consistent at stuff and having the
the drive.
You
have drive. You just don't have drive to be punctual.
Yeah.
To get things done in a timely fashion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. For a practical one, I would be more outgoing. I would be more extroverted, so I wouldn't be scared of everything and all the people and talking. Just, on the super cool ability, like I said, I would want the ability to be able to actually learn and obtain multiple languages. I was horrible at Spanish, the worst. Well, and never understood it.
And then anytime that we want to pick up a language,
I get discouraged easily.
You do.
I do.
Granted, on this,
because I'm good at a lot. I was always good in school, so when I'm not doing good, it upsets me.
Yeah, but granted, on the most recent one, you wanted to learn how to speak Greek, and I kind of fell off the wagon with that. I just would forget to do it.
Yeah,
and that's my bad.
Yeah,
but also I've been trying to get you to learn Spanish with me for years.
I know, it's because you're better than me at it, and it makes me upset.
I grew up in a Spanish-speaking neighborhood. I worked in kitchens with 90% Spanish speakers. Of course I'm going to be a little bit... I still can't speak Spanish. That just shows you how bad I am at learning languages.
I'm bad at languages. So that would be mine. I want a mind for languages. Besides English, I'm good at English.
Yeah.
Okay. We're into set 2 now. We're only into set 2.
Ooh,
so, take that into consideration. Hope you guys love us. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
I think... Because on one hand, I would like to know if I was going to make it as a comedian, be able to do that as a job, but also that at the same time, it'd be nice to know that, but also it doesn't matter because I like doing it. So it's something that I'm just going to
keep doing.
I'm going to keep doing
Yeah.
and like keep trying to get better and bigger at.
And I feel like the type of personality you have, if you looked at the future and it showed you something you didn't like, you would just be like, well, I can change that. That's not the future. The future's not set.
Yeah.
You would change it. So I don't think seeing the future would change anything for you. You would just keep doing it. You'd either keep doing what you were doing or you'd change entirely.
Yeah.
Which I guess is nice because then you know you had to change.
Yeah, that would be nice. But like, yeah, so I think that's really like one of the only things that I'd like want to see as far as future goes. You know, just to know that. I don't know. What about you?
I don't know. I think the future it'd be fine, but also I can see if you see a future that you really like, you could be complacent. You could start thinking like, well, I'm going to get that anyways, and then you stop doing the stuff that would make you get it, you know?
Yeah.
And then the truth I could see causing problems. I hate liars. It's like one of my big pet peeves. So like I could see myself wanting the truth, but then also that could hurt me.
What is the truth about?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like the truth about
truth.
What? The truth about the world. It sucks.
Like
we all know.
Why are we all
here? The secret to life.
Yeah.
You know?
What is it?
I think I'd probably just not look into a crystal ball.
I don't think
if I knew it worked.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna show me anything that I want.
I don't think it will either. I think it's bad news. That's what I think.
Yeah,
I think
crystal balls.
Hashtag bad news.
Yeah, hashtag bad news. Crystal balls blow.
Unless seventh Harry Potter, Professor Trelawney uses them to knock people out in the Battle at Hogwarts. That's pretty badass.
That is pretty cool.
So there you go. There's your use for crystal balls. Knock people out with them.
And everything comes back to Harry Potter.
Always. Always.
Yeah. And
literally
right
always.
Too.
Okay. Is there something that you've dreamed about doing for a long time, but why haven't you done it?
Like, I don't know. I've always wanted to travel more, but you know, money.
That's why.
Yeah, money's why. I don't know. Sometimes I think it'd be cool to live somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know?
Why haven't you done it?
Money. And also it's scary.
Yeah.
You know, like it'd be cool to
It was scary to move here, let alone out of the country.
Yeah. And you know, you got to find a job. It's like a ton of work. So I guess more complacency, you know? And also like when you were working for 911, you had like a career path.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to ruin that.
Yeah.
You know, and now like we own a house and stuff like that.
Roots.
We've got roots now, but you know, saying that like we lived in New York for,
would be cool.
For 3 years would be awesome.
Yeah.
Or like somewhere crazy. Like we moved to like Spain or Japan for a year, you know, like that'd be really cool. I guess so that's something that I've thought about doing, but
money and roots.
Money and roots and
responsibilities.
I don't want to uproot you also. Yeah. You know, like if
it had to be a decision between us.
Like, but you know, like I'm not materialistic. Like stuff doesn't really matter to me. I'm of the mind where I can get new stuff.
Yeah.
You know. That's why it's so hard to buy presents for me.
Yeah, for real though.
Yeah, because I'm like,
I always try and get you something to do as opposed to a thing.
Which I appreciate. I like doing that.
Yeah.
Like you get me presents for stuff and we go and do stuff. Like
you're harder to buy presents for because you don't ever tell me what you want. Like I don't like a bunch of stuff either, but at least I'm like, get me this.
Yeah. But so like if we were to be like, hey, we're moving to, you know, somewhere cool, I'd be like, cool, we're renting out the house. We'll get someone to take care of it for us.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Like just take care of our stuff here and let's bounce.
Yeah.
But like there's a lot of shit that we gotta
be responsible for and take care of before we did that.
Yeah, to uproot.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the same page, traveling, and I've thought about the same thing, living in another country and the possibility of doing that. And I've actually looked into a little bit and like how that would be a thing we could do, even if it was for like, oh, we just lived in Thailand for a year and like came back, you know.
That'd be cool.
I have looked at that. I think it would be interesting, but something I don't know if it's like dreamed of or is getting published. I think that's something I've always wanted to do. And previously it was what made me not do was fear and being scared of not being good enough. Cause that is another, I know that's like a downfall of mine, is not thinking I'm not going to be good enough. So I just don't try.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get past that, and move forward with it and try, even if I'm just writing for fun. Cause that's what I used to do, is just write for fun. And then I stopped doing that, even because I just felt like I wasn't good enough to even do that. Mm-hmm. And traveling, and that's money and roots and wanting to feel comfortable, because of my anxiety. And then like on a thing that's like not really something I've dreamed of but wanted to change and kind of dreamed of, and like a weird, it sounds silly to say I dream of this, is like actually intentionally reaching out to people that I think are my friends and like hanging out with them, because I think about it all the time. So like I am quote unquote dreaming of doing it, and like reaching out to people and like making connections and actually having friends, but like anxiety stops me.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of the same, half the same as you, and then some other extra things.
I got some other stuff.
Cause I'm a weird one. What can I say? What's your greatest accomplishment of your life?
I think
so far.
I think moving up here.
Yeah.
Like biting the bullet and doing that, like we put ourselves in a situation where we could succeed,
Just
and
seriously fail.
I mean, it was definitely a jump, like a do or die type thing. Yeah. I mean, not do or die, because we could have moved back. We would have had a place to stay and stuff like that. But just like going up here and sticking the landing, like we
doing the damn thing.
We prepared for it. We had a plan. We had obstacles that we had to overcome, but we did it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool that we were able to, and then I think besides that, that's probably like the biggest one. Besides that, maybe like switching careers and just like, because I really like cooking.
Yeah.
But
getting out of that rut.
Yeah, it was just, I was in a rut,
yeah.
And there wasn't anywhere else around here that like excited me about cooking, like as much as in Southern California. So
yeah, I kind of agree. I think moving up here and like leaving everything that we knew and all the people, like we didn't know anybody when we moved up here, and we just did it. And I almost instantly regretted it and wanted to move back, but I didn't. And I found a home here, and I found a home in you, as opposed to in where I thought my heart was, in Southern California with my mom and my sister. And then, staying with 911 for so long, even though I wouldn't go back and I wouldn't work there again, I feel accomplished in doing it, because it made me realize how strong I am as a human and what I can do. So it made me realize like kind of, I don't know, the strength of my will and my personality, because I always felt with my anxiety and everything that I was kind of a weaker person. So I think that's a good accomplishment, but mostly moving up here and doing it, and we did it well. We came up here and we had a roommate at first, and then we got out of that house, and we had our own apartment, and then we got out of that apartment and we bought our own house, and we've helped a lot of people get on their feet up here and improve their lives also. And I think that's a cool thing that we're able to do up here, is be able to help our friends and our family. So I think those are good accomplishments.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know.
You're a good accomplishment.
You're a good accomplishment. You're my accomplishment. What do you value most in a friendship?
What's kind of funny is I wasn't thinking about like what I value in a friendship, but I was thinking about like when do you really consider someone a friend? Because like in comedy I meet a lot of people, I have a lot of acquaintances, but not a lot of people that I would consider my friends, or that I would lump them into a category where they're my comedy friends.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Work friends.
Yeah, they're kind of like work friends.
Yeah.
But I thought about it, and I think this is also one of the things that I appreciate most in a friend, is also the same moment that you realize that somebody is your friend, is when you can just walk up and say hi and have a full, interesting, engaged conversation without having anything to talk about.
Yeah.
Like you just walk up and you say hi, and there's nothing in your brain. There's no reason for you to walk up to them. Mm-hmm. And then you can talk to them for an hour with nothing to say.
Yeah.
So I think that's both when I actually consider someone a friend
and what you most appreciate.
And what I most appreciate about having a friend.
Yeah, I feel that. I don't know what I most appreciate about friends. I don't have a whole ton of friends. Once again, anxiety. It's a cool thing.
Yeah.
But the friends I have, I would do pretty much anything for. Especially as a girl, I don't know if boys do this, but as a girl, a lot of it comes up, especially if someone wants to have kids and they ask, like, oh, if I couldn't have a baby, like, would you carry my baby? I can honestly say that all of my best friends, I would. After I had children, I want to do it before I had my own kids, but I would carry a child for my best friends. I would literally do anything for them, and I appreciate that in a friend, as someone that is there for me, up, down, the loyalty, the aspect. I don't need to see them all the time, like. My best friend, Kelly. One of my best friends. I have a lot of them now. Seems weird.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got another best friend who's going to be pretty fucking pissed at you right now.
Sorry, Caitlin. Love you. But Kelly is my oldest best friend. And, like we could not see each other or talk to each other for, a year, 2 years, and then we see each other and it falls instantly back into place. Everything, like we just talk like, like nothing's different.
Yeah, that's probably one of the other things that I appreciate most about a friend is having a friend, like a good friend who you don't see for a long, long time.
Yeah, and nothing changes when you get back together.
Everything, you go and you hang out and it just falls right back into place.
Yeah. I like a friend that can understand life. I don't like high maintenance friends.
No.
I need a friend that understands, one, life gets in the way, and two, that I have the social anxieties and that it's hard for me to reach out in the first place. So like they understand that. So they're not upset at me for not doing it. Yeah. They're just like happy when they hear from me. And I'm happy when I hear from them.
Yeah. You've seen me cut high maintenance friends out of my life. Yeah. I just, one, like I'm married to you. Like I can't be going out all the time.
Yeah.
For friends. And also like toxic friendships and stuff. Like I just am like, I don't have the energy for it.
Yeah.
So
another thing I appreciate in friendship is something that I provide in a friendship: honesty, even if it's not something that you necessarily want to hear. I like a friendship where we can trust each other enough to tell each other the entire true truth and know that it's not like we're not trying to hurt each other's feelings, and you could apologize and it'll be over. Like you're not going to hold on to that grudge. Like, well, you said this was never going to, I like to know that I can count on somebody to tell me the truth, even if they think it's going to hurt my feelings.
I think I appreciate that in a relationship.
I like that in a relationship too, but also a friendship is a relationship.
It's kind of, I view it as different, but like in a relationship or in like a professional relationship, like I appreciate that. But like in a friend, like I also don't need you to tell me the truth all the time. Like for comedy friends, like if I tell a joke and it bombs, like I don't want you to be like, oh man, you crushed.
Yeah.
Because like I know I didn't.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the truth in aspects that matter. If you ask for someone's opinion, you'll have some friends like you'll ask them like, well, what'd you think? And they do that like, oh, you did amazing. But like, you didn't do amazing, and they know you didn't do amazing. But like, I don't want somebody to be like, walk up to me like, you look horrible today. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah. Exactly. But also like in that same aspect, it's kind of like if I'm like, I want to do this, and I'm like, do you think I'd be able to do it? And if they're like, no, like that's kind of shitty. I don't want that in a friend. I want support. Yeah. And if you have to lie to me,
there's
like,
a
that's
line.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree. There's a line, but I appreciate just honesty in general.
If you're a friend, I don't need honesty from you, at least from me. Yeah. Like if we're having a good time and you telling a white lie keeps the good time going.
Just a little fibble.
Fucking do it.
Yeah.
You ready
for the next one?
Ready.
What is your most treasured memory? It's a hard one.
It is. Well, I mean, I'm 26. I got a lot of memories.
Gotta flip through the little Philodex thing or whatever.
I think one of my my most treasured memories is also like one of my first memories. Well, I mean, when you start going back that far, they kind of jumble.
Yeah.
For which is first, but it's one of my earlier ones. And I remember it was my birthday party, and we were in Hawaii, and like I had this like swing set in the yard that was out, and like all the kids from the neighborhood and stuff were there, and I was having a good time. And I walked into like we had like a garage area. It was more of like a covered overhang kind of thing. And like my dad and his friends were playing darts and like drinking beers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I was like 4 or 3. Like I was walking around and I was talking and stuff, but I was a child. And I walked in and I was like, "Hey, like what's up, you guys?" And it was like my dad and his friends who like we considered family, like they're like my uncles. They are my uncles. But I like walked in and they were like, "Hey, what's up? Happy birthday." And like, it just seemed like everybody was really excited to see me. And then they like invited me to like hang out with them and play darts.
Such a grown up.
And like, when you're that old, you're like, I can't believe these guys want me to hang out.
Yeah.
So it was like a really cool feeling that I remember. And like, I don't know. It's just like a cool situation. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So it's like a feeling attached to the memory.
Yeah.
More.
I get that.
So.
Yeah. I'm over here trying to think of my happiest, my most treasured memory. It'd be hard to produce a Patronus. Back to Harry Potter. I think it's a funny treasured memory because as a grown up now, looking back on it, I realize what we were doing. But my mom used to take us back when my Gigi was alive, my grandma when she was alive. When her ex used to come and visit us to see her, he was the reason she was in the wheelchair. My mom would take us and we'd have a girls' night. And we'd go and we'd stay in a hotel and we'd do manicures and pedicures and facials and we'd order food in and watch like pay-per-view movies and like sing songs and jump around and just have like, just like a classic girls' night. And I mean, those memories are some of the best that I have with my mom and my sister and just being happy. And like, we didn't realize at the time we were avoiding an argument, and we were felt so fancy to stay in a hotel and order food in, like, especially like, growing up, how we did and not having a lot of money. So it just seemed like such a special thing.
Yeah, I feel that. And I feel like both of the memories are like I feel like, like we both said, it's like a feeling, it's like happiness and it's like a feeling of inclusion.
Yeah. It's just being, I don't know, being a family and being like special.
Yeah. You had your tribe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Flip side. What's your most terrible memory? Time to get sad, guys.
Oof. I locked my sister in an armoire.
That's a terrible memory for you?
It's
a terrible memory for her, that's for sure.
So I felt so bad about it. Like, in that, like, you notice how much longer it took for me to find the happy memory? Yeah. Like, that one I think about.
Yeah.
Like, because I think it's... So, like, we were playing... Mm-hmm. And there was like this armoire and then like Aisha went inside and then like I locked it and we were just being funny. Mm-hmm. And then like she would like pound on the door and I would open it and then a
very peekaboo situation but with higher stakes.
It was kind of peekaboo and we were just playing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is so much fun, like let's go get Skylar and like we'll freak him out. Like I'll bring him back and you'll bang on the door, okay? Mm-hmm. And she was like, yeah. And then I went downstairs. We were at my grandparents' house because there was a downstairs. We didn't have a downstairs at our house.
Yeah.
But we went down. I went downstairs, and my dad was watching TV. And I was like, hey, have you seen Skylar? And he's like, no, I haven't seen him for a little bit. And then I got distracted by
Classic Austin.
By the TV and ended up just watching TV for like an hour. And then my mom found Aisha in the armoire that I had locked her in for like an extended amount of time. And like she came downstairs with my mom, and they were both like crying, and my mom told me that I was a horrible person.
Oh, that's the bad memory. Is your mom telling you you're a horrible person?
It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
I felt bad about it. She was, and like my dad was pissed.
Yeah.
They went to send me to my room, and I was crying, and I started to get into like my bed, and my dad was like, no, you're way too comfortable up there. You don't deserve to be there. So they like put me in the washroom, and I sat in there for a while.
An hour? As long as you left Aisha in there.
I don't remember how long, but so yeah, that's a
bad memory. I could see that. It's probably bad for her also.
Yeah.
Which is probably what makes it a worse memory, is that you traumatized someone else.
Yeah. So I think that one's my worst one.
It's hard to think about what I have a few that come to mind. I feel like growing up, one of my stepmoms didn't like me very much, and distinctly I remember realizing the moment that she treated me different than the other kids. We had all been playing out in the rain and the mud and everything, and we ran into the house dirty, soaking wet, soaked through. It was a great time, though. We were having a good time. We all ran into the house, and my sister ran past her, and my stepbrother ran past her, and she was just like, what's happening? And I remember her grabbing me by my arm and shoving me against the wall and screaming at me for being messy. And it was my fault. I remember that distinctly, feeling like I was the one that was the problem.
When everybody was
the problem.
Everybody was the problem.
So I remember that, or telling my sister that my grandma had died.
Yeah.
And having to go to work and tell her, or finding my mom when my grandma had died. And after we moved up here, my sister having to call me and tell me that my mom had overdosed. Those are mine.
Yeah. You got a few.
Just a couple.
Isn't it weird that the worst memories start with good ones? Like, because you said like when you ran in, you were having a great time.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like my sister and I were playing together. Like we were having a great time.
I think that's what makes them bad memories, is the juxtaposition. The stark reality of life.
Yeah. Well, good word use of juxtaposition. Thank you. By the way, that's
$10 word right there.
Yeah.
Like same with like when my grandma died, the day she died, I had stayed home from work, or stayed home from school. I was in high school at the time because I just didn't want to go. My mom didn't care. And like as I was leaving, I told her I loved her. And then I was upstairs like having a fine day, hanging out, not at school. And then, my grandma died and I had to go, and because my mom couldn't do anything. So I had to go and break that news to my sister, who, when I walked in like a pair of boxer shorts and a t-shirt and no shoes, sobbing, trying to find my sister at her job.
Yeah.
And like the look on her face, because she knew something was wrong.
Well, yeah.
And then just the sound of my sister's voice when she had to tell me, like, because I knew why I had left California. Besides that we wanted a better life, I knew half of why I left was to get away from my mom's bullshit.
Just a bad situation.
Yeah. And I know that my sister had felt like I abandoned her with it. And then she had to deal with that. And like just the sound of her voice when she had to break that news to me. That sucks.
Cool. Well,
love you guys. Hope you love us.
This got real. So how many more questions are there?
A lot.
Does it get heavier? I hope it lightens up a little bit. Jeez.
Where are we? Here we are. Here we go. You ready?
Ready.
If you knew that you had, that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you're living now?
Yeah.
Like 100% you knew, guaranteed scientific fucking fact you're going to die. What would you change?
Yeah.
I would sell everything.
Yeah.
I would sell everything and go travel with my family. I would force them. I would tell them, hey, guys, I'm going to die in exactly a year. I know for a fucking fact I'm going to die. We're going to go travel. I would see as much of the world as I could. And then on like the last 2 days of my life, I would get all my family together, like at our wedding venue or somewhere awesome where we could all be together and just spend time together. And then I would just die.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we'd be having a lot more sex.
Oh, yeah, no, a lot of fucking on the traveling. All the countries we went to were fucking.
I wouldn't take my family everywhere with me because
but I would take them a lot of places.
With just you.
Yeah.
You know, but same situation. I wouldn't sell my house. I would give it to somebody.
Yeah. I would sell it for the funds for the traveling. But I guess, like, if I'm going to die,
I'm
just
racking,
get a bunch of credit cards.
I've got good credit. They'll give me credit cards.
That's true.
Like,
I didn't think about that. We're not leaving the debt to anybody if we're both dying.
So, like in the United States, like, once you die, they can't, like, collect debt from you.
But they do bug you about it for a while.
They do. But...
Or the people that survive you.
But they don't have to pay for it necessarily. No. There's also a thing that you can do where if you have a life insurance policy already, I knew a guy who did this.
Yeah. Find somebody to buy
it. Someone will buy your life insurance. Oh, I had to burp. Tastes good.
Weird.
Yeah. No, it didn't. That was a lie.
He's a liar.
Yeah, I know.
We just discussed how I value honesty.
And that's why I came clean. But
I burped too.
So like you can sell your life insurance policy. Like someone will pay you like a percentage of what it's
50
worth.
50 cents on the dollar.
Or whatever. And basically wait for you to die.
Yeah.
In order to collect the life insurance policy. So you can do that. You know, I would check with my family to see if that's what they wanted to do. Like if they wanted to collect a life insurance policy on me, or if we would rather like have the funds up front and do some cool shit first.
Yeah. I would just want to do all the stuff I want to do in my life in 1 year.
I wouldn't work.
Which is mostly traveling.
Yeah.
So that's why I would sell like most of my worldly possessions, except for things that I think someone would want.
Yeah.
And I would just go.
Yeah.
And I would invite my family to like cool places. Like, okay, like my mom has always talked about taking a trip to Hawaii with the family.
Yeah.
So, because that's where she's from. So we'd go to Hawaii as a family. She's always wanted to see a Monet in person. So I would take her to Paris. You know, like I would do specific things with each of my family members and then come together the final time. Awesome place. If I was dying in 2023, like if I had 1 year to live in 2023, 2024, we'd go see Aurora Borealis as a family, all of us together, because it's supposed to be like a freaking Oriole storm or whatever. Gonna be the best Aurora Borealis ever.
I feel like an Oriole storm sounds like a bunch of birds are gonna go somewhere to die.
Aviary.
You know, they're just gonna like fall out of the sky.
That'd be terrifying.
Orioles.
But
yeah, I would stop punching a clock.
Yeah.
With, you know, somebody. I wouldn't travel everywhere with my family, but I would do like certain things that were cool.
Yeah.
With them.
We're just going to skip a couple of these because like it's a little excessive and we've talked about them already. Like, what does friendship mean to you? We just talked about that.
That's the same question.
Same thing. We just did it. How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most people's?
I do.
Yeah.
'Cause like no matter how poor we were or like, you know, how much my parents did a lot to hide those struggles from us for a long time.
Yeah.
So, and like, I remember asking my dad a couple of times, like, are we poor or are we rich? And he'd be like, and like every single time he would be like, well, I have you, you know, I have you and your brother and your sister and we have a family and we have a place to live. So I'm rich in love. And, you know, that makes me rich.
Yeah.
And I always kind of appreciated that. But yeah, I do feel like mine was happier
than most people.
Which is weird for a comedian because people just expect you to be fucking miserable
life,
all the time. And I'm like, you know, being alive is pretty cool. I like it. And I like seeing the weird stuff in life and pointing it out.
Life's a crazy place.
Yeah. I like having stories about how cool life is or like, you know, having contrast or something. And I like telling those stories, which is what makes me like doing comedy, you know? So, but short answer, yeah.
Yeah. I think I had a happy childhood up until a certain point. You know, I think a lot of my childhood was happy, and my mom is very loving and very affectionate. And when I got to see my dad, he was the same way. You know, there was a lot of hugs and there was a lot of saying I love you, and my mom always did the I'm rich in love thing too.
Yeah. That's a poor person phrase.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, 100%. I don't know that I was happier than anybody else. I mean, like I said, I've had a lot of responsibilities and stuff, but I didn't really realize that was weird. You know, I didn't really think about that, like, other people didn't have these things to do. So I don't know. How do you feel about your relationship with your mother?
It's good now.
Yeah, growing up.
I don't like someone hovering over me. I don't like micromanaging or like being told what to do and where to go and when to do it. Faith and I like recently had an argument about this. You know, she wanted me to put like a tracker on my phone, and
because of the anxiety.
Because she
and you're out a lot.
She had good reasons for it.
And that once he explained, I wasn't upset about it anymore.
Yeah,
he just didn't at first.
Okay, can I
yes.
tell the story? So, she obviously had, you know, the anxieties and stuff that she had about it, which totally makes sense. But my whole thing was, I don't like being hovered over. I don't, you know, she's my wife and I love her, and I don't need like a mom situation like hanging over me. So my mom and I didn't get along a lot growing up because of that. But like as soon as I moved out of the house, like everything was like awesome, hunky-dory, great, cool stuff,
yeah,
good to go. And I love my mom,
yeah,
but there was growing up, because she was the boss figure,
yes,
resentment there.
She was always, I feel like your mom is the boss figure.
Yeah, still. She still is, but
yeah. But now
I live
you
1,000 miles away. There's not a ton she can do.
Yeah, I feel that. Growing up with my mom was amazing.
Yeah.
My mom hung the moon. She was a superhero. She could do anything. She could do no wrong. When it came crashing down, that was a lot. And then my relationship with my mom wasn't good for a lot of years, while she was figuring her situation out after my grandma died, and she was going off the deep end and not around a lot and not keeping her word. Like she used to always say, she would always, if a pinky promise can't be broken. She'd always pinky promise us stuff. And when that stopped mattering and we moved up here and she just kept fucking off and not caring, it wasn't great. And now that she's working really hard and doing good and improving herself, I feel better about it now. And I think we're back to being like best friends again, but it was hard for, you know, like 5-ish years.
Yeah, I'd say.
But maybe. I feel like overall, like a lot of people can't honestly say they were like their best friends with their mom or that they grew up even liking their mom.
And when people are best friends with their mom, it usually ends up being a toxic thing.
Yeah.
Moms aren't for being best friends most of the time. Moms are for being moms.
No.
Which is what my mom was, and now we have a good relationship.
Yes. Let's see. I'm trying to find a good one because we don't need all of these. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time, saying things that you might not say to anyone you've just met, even though we didn't just meet.
Yeah, we didn't just meet. This is like first date shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
Who's doing this on their first date?
That's
or even
wild.
their first. If you're doing this in the first 6 months of a relationship, it's probably too soon.
It's wild. Like
Maybe first year. I think 1 year anniversary, this is okay.
If I was on a first date and like some chick pulled this out of their pocket and was
what?
like, "We're gonna do these," I'd be like,
I don't want to fall in love
deep.
with you.
I'd be like, I'm leaving.
Right.
Yeah.
So also, since we didn't just meet, what do you like most about me?
I think you got a bodacious booty.
Okay, besides physically.
Hey everybody, we're back. There were some technical difficulties there.
Austin unplugged his mic.
I did. The question made me too nervous, and I didn't want to answer it. But we're back again. No. So no, I did. I accidentally unplugged my microphone, and we had to redo it. So we're back.
Tell me what you like about me.
Yeah, I like a lot of stuff about you. I mentioned your booty. As far as like in a relationship wise, I like that it feels like it's a partnership, you know, like where neither one of us is like the pants wearer, as they say. We're just kind of in it together.
Yeah.
And I like that. I also like that you kind of like, you give me like a reason for getting stuff done, you know, because like if it was just me, like my place would be a pigsty. Like, it'd be so dirty. But like, you know, other stuff too, like, you know, taking care, like not only like taking care of stuff, but taking care of me for you, you know, like, because if I'm a mess, then I'm gonna like be like, oh no, Faith thinks I'm a mess. She's not gonna want to be with that. So it's like you're a reason for my doing a lot of stuff and a lot of my keeping it together, and I like that.
You like it. That's good. I try and keep you together. I like how genuine you are. I don't know, I feel like I could take a lot of what you say and do at like face value. You're not trying to you're not two-faced. You're not trying to do no ulterior motives or whatever.
Run any schemes or anything. I'm not smart enough for that.
Yeah. I just feel like you're just like a true, genuine human being. Like you're just a genuinely good person. You're genuinely kind. You're genuinely funny. You love me for exactly who I am. Yeah. And also simultaneously, you try to help me improve myself.
Yeah, I'm always there for you, dude.
Yeah. That's what I think I like about you. I mean, that's not what I know I like about you, but probably what I like best about you is that you're genuine.
And you know what I like about you?
Everything.
You hold me tight.
You can go up, down, tuck around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep on whispering in my ear. Tell me all the things that I want to hear, because it's
share
true.
The most embarrassing moment of your life.
Whoa.
I know. We're almost done because I'm going to skip a bunch of these. They're very repetitive, it seems like.
Okay, cool.
Even like 2 questions from the one we just did. Tell your partner something that you already like about them. Bitch, I just did.
Yeah, that was repeat questions.
God. Repeat stuff. Repeat stuff. That's the key to love. It's repeat stuff. Anyways.
Yeah.
What's the most embarrassing thing of your life?
I don't know. I've done a lot of embarrassing things, but
What were you most embarrassed about?
But also like when you're trying to be funny, you do embarrassing things to try to be funny. Like even now, like I talk about it on like stuff on stage, like in, you know, for the fact, like for the sake of a joke, and it doesn't feel embarrassing. But I think the time that I felt the most embarrassed, I was in 2nd grade.
Wow.
And I shit my pants.
Yeah. I can feel
like
that.
Full on.
That makes sense.
Full on pooed.
Full on
yeah,
pooed.
like not even, because like some people are like, I pooped my pants, and they just had like a wet fart.
Yeah.
Like, no, this was like mashed up in my butt crack against my jeans.
That's not good.
Pooed.
Yeah.
It was my first time ever wearing a button fly.
It's dangerous.
I was in 2nd grade and still
Never
really
again.
didn't have a firm grasp on the one button with a zipper, you know?
So you blame your mom for dressing you?
No, I blame those tiny little digits that I had. You know, I couldn't work them, and I knew I had to poo. I had to poo hard.
Clearly,
it was a big poo coming out of a little body, right? Like to the point where I was willing to use the public school bathroom in the middle of class to poo.
Yeah, that's a big poo.
And I got there, and I think I was like one button deep And then I just remember it coming out.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, my tiny little butthole couldn't handle it. And the poo came out, all of it.
Punami.
It was a.
Can you imagine telling somebody this on a first date?
Oh my God. The fact that this is for first dates is insane. But so I actually think it ended up being worse for the nurse because some kid came in to the bathroom and I was crying because I was in second grade and I just
Pooed myself.
Unleashed, as you say, the punami.
Yeah.
The hurricane, you know.
Hurricane sounds like poor people. Hurricane.
Yeah, the hurricane.
Really put the emphasis in there.
Yeah, the boomerang. That's where you shit and it comes back to haunt you. But so there was a kid, he came in and I was crying because, you know, the poo. And so he comes in and he's like, are you okay? Like legitimately just trying to check on this crying kid. And I just like yelled at him. I was like, go get a teacher. And so he goes and gets the school nurse who... Her knowledge of the situation is there is a kid crying in a bathroom stall asking for an adult.
100% not the first time she's dealt with a kid that shit themselves.
Yeah, but it could be anything.
Yeah.
She has no idea. It's a poo situation. She's just like, I could have done anything in there. And then she came in, she was very serious and she was like, what's wrong? Like, what can we do? And like, what happened? And I was like, I pooed. You know, and then like the wave of relief that must have come over this
she's
woman.
like, oh, thank God, this fucking kid just pooed himself.
Yeah. Okay. Like he's a year and a half out of diapers.
Yeah.
Like that's
just a new pants situation. Code brown, guys. It's okay.
Yeah. We got a code brown. It's all right.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's hard to think about. I have a lot of embarrassing moments as an awkward human. I think potentially the most embarrassed that I ever was, because I remember how red my face felt in crying. That's how embarrassed I was.
That's pretty good.
As I was playing tag, I think, or ditch 'em, which is team tag for anybody that doesn't know that. When I was a kid growing up, that was like our game, is ditch 'em. It's like team hide and go seek is more accurate. And I was running, and first I tripped. Step one of the embarrassment. I tripped, fell into the grass, landed in dog shit.
Ooh. What part of you landed in dog shit?
On my arm and my hip.
Ooh.
Ripped my pants.
Ooh.
The trifecta, if you will.
That is a trifecta of kids playing in the yard.
And I skinned my knee from falling. Because I fell first onto sidewalk, then into grass, landed in poo, ripped my pants, cried.
Yeah, that's, as a kid, that's...
It was horrible. So embarrassing.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
So bad. Yeah, so that's probably the most embarrassing thing one of the most embarrassing things that's happened to me.
Yeah, that's and like the whole neighborhood saw.
Oh yeah, everybody saw. I had to run back. I was wearing, I distinctly remember because I'll never again, white pants. White pants, dog shit on me, skin knee, ripped pants. Pink underwear.
Ooh, pink underwear and white pants was a bad choice anyway.
Oh, it was a bad choice. But it's not like not like I picked my underwear. I just grabbed Chonies in the morning. I didn't buy them. I wouldn't buy pink underwear for myself.
But
it was just all bad.
All right.
I had to hide inside.
What's the next one?
Okay. The next one that we're going to do. What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about? For the comedian.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm of the mind where if it's funny enough, it's not off limits. You know, it just, matters how creative you are. Sorry, I had to yell at my dog.
You had to snap at her dog.
Yeah, she's biting to bite her.
She's biting at herself.
But,
and stuff. Anyways.
Yeah, I think I'm of the mind where if it's funny enough, then
nothing.
Then nothing, one of the worst things in history to have ever happened, arguably, like on a global scale, World War II, right? Like so many fucking people died. Like we had like a ruthless like tyrant who was trying to take over the world. Like,
yeah, a lot of just senseless violence.
Yeah, there are
and torture.
A lot of
Holocaust
fantastic jokes. Hitler jokes.
Yeah.
Great jokes. And like there's
I think time plays a factor in that though. You know, like immediately after you shouldn't be joking about the Holocaust.
I disagree. Because there was a whole generation of men who were in that war, and the only way that they could cope with seeing the like violence and horror day after day after day, because it was World War I was like one of the first wars that wasn't decided by like a small amount of battles. It was consistent war day in and day out. Like even the Civil War had like a lot of battles that happened,
but breaks, traveling.
Exactly. This was, we're dug in,
trench
and
it up
every single day.
Yeah,
there's people dying, and it's like a horrible situation. You're living in your own. You're literally shitting in dead people's helmets and throwing it over the edge of the trench.
Yeah,
like horrible situations. And this whole generation of men came out joking about it. Like if you look back, like they would joke to cope. Like it was like a new form of, you know, trying to cope with these situations, and like people that, you know, they called it like shell shock and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I mean PTSD and all that. But
exactly.
You gotta cope, and everybody copes in their own way.
Yeah. So
I just think it depends, which is hard.
Yeah, you cope to deal. Whenever you're in like a type of situation like that, you start busting each other's balls and like making fun of people, like stuff like that. So no, I don't think anything's off limits. I think that there's stuff that is harder to joke about than others. And if you're going to make a joke about it, it has to be really well thought out.
Yeah. It has to be done well, which is part of the problem.
Yes. I think that for some people, there are things that they are not funny enough to joke about.
Yeah.
You know?
I was gonna say, I think it depends on the person as far as the comedian and the audience. Like you wouldn't go into like for some, if Planned Parenthood were to have an event, you wouldn't go in joking about like
how Alabama really got it right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more an audience thing, depending on if something's too serious to joke about. I think there are things that I think it's more about the person that's saying the joke and the context and how funny the punchline is. It has to be truly funny. If you're gonna risk joking about something like the Holocaust or like abortion or like school shootings or immigration or something, it better be fucking hilarious. And if it's not, you can't get upset at people for being upset at you. Yeah.
There's a lot of bad jokes out there.
A ton.
More than there are good jokes.
For real.
You know, and I've also, like, something sounds funny in your head and then you say it out loud, and it's just insensitive, you know?
I think rape's really hard to joke about.
It is.
I don't think it's impossible or too serious to joke about, because especially if you've been raped and you want to joke about it, go for it. But I think it's something to consider before you say it.
It is. There's a really it's one of the areas where it's really difficult to joke about, like that, and you know, like mothers dying.
Yeah.
Like is another like really tough one, because if like as a comedian, if there's like one person in your audience who relates to that too much,
they get all cranky.
Or like they have trauma about it and they're drunk and like their sensibilities are shut off, and that's like super triggering for them.
Yeah.
They're going to get upset about it no matter how funny the joke is.
But I think something that just people need to realize in general is just because you're offended doesn't mean that it's wrong or that person's a bad person.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay to be offended.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to be screaming at people that you're right. Because when people, a lot of the times I feel like when they get offended about specific jokes or things that are said, they're offended for themselves. They don't consider that everybody else thought it was funny.
Yeah.
They're offended because they're offended. You hurt my feelings, and my feelings matter more than yours, or why you think that's funny.
Yeah. The only thing worse than that is when somebody is offended on someone else's behalf.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, you don't know, like, I don't know, if I had somebody, like, and I was like, oh, like, for example, if you tell like a slightly racist joke and you have a friend that's like of color or something with you, and they're like, you like, look, I feel like that's more racist on your part to be like, oh my God, how offensive. And the other person just like, okay.
Yeah. Like if you have a joke that's like about a race, as long as it's coming from a place of understanding.
Yeah.
You know, like you kind of get the situation, you know,
how stupid or ridiculous or whatever it is.
How stupid or ridiculous it is, you know, if you can't like walk around and just be like, oh yeah, you know, this race sucks, right?
Yeah.
Ha.
That's not funny.
No, but
unless you're talking about yourself. People love to joke about how white people suck.
Yeah, people love to joke about how white people suck.
A lot of us.
Yeah.
We do.
I have jokes about it.
Statistically, a good amount of us suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just odds, you know.
Odds are. But yeah, but so the short version is no. If it's funny enough, you can do it.
Okay, last one because we're skipping a bunch of these. Are you ready?
Ready.
Your house containing everything that you own catches on fire after saving all of your loved ones and your pets. You have time to safely make one final dash to save any single item. What would it be and why?
I don't know, because like we've gone over this. I'm so like not materialistic. Like I'm of the mind that you're like, I can buy everything again.
Yeah.
You know, like, and we have insurance, so like that's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to work itself out.
I know.
I think.
What my answer is, not what your answer is.
Oh, you know?
I know what my answer is.
Okay. My answer is I would get your phone.
Strange.
Very strange, I know, but.
I have most of the numbers that matter.
I mean.
And the pictures.
You have a lot of the numbers that matter.
Mm-hmm.
You have the pictures. You know, I do have some pictures, but you take like a lot more pictures and you have in storage a lot more pictures that matter than I do. We have printed pictures.
But you can print more.
But you can print more. They're all in Faith's. I mean, a lot of them are in your cloud.
Yeah.
But like they're in the storage on there.
Yeah.
So maybe I guess my answer is our phones because mine have a lot like my
one item, Austin.
Phones.
That's a plural.
Whatever. What? So you can then grab one picture in that situation?
Grab my picture frame with my pressed wedding bouquet in it.
That's a good one.
Because I can get the pictures back, but I can't get the flowers that I pressed from the wedding back.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and then like my phone has like a lot of comedy recordings and stuff, and like a lot of my work that I do for that, jokes, you know. Yeah. Most of it's on my phones. Yeah. So
I'd grab the pressed wedding bouquet or that silly giant red apple.
Oh, well, because it's been in your family.
Yeah, because it's like a family heirloom. But I also feel like that could probably survive most of a fire.
I mean, it's glass, so if it gets heated
like
up
how
enough,
quickly we would get help, you know, assuming that we call pretty quickly. And in my dream assumption, our house is not burning to the ground. So I feel like it would come out maybe a little abstract and have a better story behind it.
And I think it would look better.
Honestly, it's kind of boring as a regular apple, but you got to keep it, you know,
it's
in
just
the family.
Big red apple.
Big red porcelain apple that my grandma's sister bought with her first ever paycheck from her first job. For some reason, she needed a giant apple. Who knows? So yeah, I would save the picture frame that I have with the 2 wedding pictures and my pressed flowers.
Yeah, that's a good one. The only other thing that I can think of is I have some really expensive knives that, you know, one of which was a gift from like an old chef. So, I mean, it has some sentimental value to me, but
I want to grab anything worth money, just worth memories.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you guys love us yet?
I love you.
I love you.
Finally, after 10 years.
After 10 years, we finally
love
each other.
Because of these questions.
Yes, 10 years into marriage, we can honestly say now.
Hell yeah.
I can honestly say that you're in love.
I am. And so are you.
And you're a podcast.
I am a podcast. If you guys are still listening, you guys are a bunch of fucking troopers.
Sorry.
Damn, dude.
You guys should tell us if you ask any of these questions to your dates.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Your first date. Scare them away for us.
Somebody do this on a first date and just record it and send it to us.
Let us know how that goes.
Yeah.
If you fall in love.
Yeah. If you fall in love, absolutely. Also,
I want to hear the success stories.
If somebody's into these questions on the first date and like answers all of them with 100% honesty,
probably
like, leave them.
Run away.
Yeah, because that's the guy from the TV show.
Oh yeah, definite stalker.
Yeah.
He knows all these answers already.
Yeah.
If he's into these.
This is not first date material.
No, this is 1 year anniversary, maybe.
We've been together for 10 years, and some of these questions I was like, wow, these are heavy.
These are a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. So yeah, sorry guys for the heft, but we've been together a decade. We got to fall in love again. It's hard. The struggle over here.
Yeah. I do love you.
I do love you.
I'm also like exhausted.
Mentally, emotionally.
Yeah.
Physically, we've been sitting here in these uncomfortable chairs for a while. And freezing.
I don't think they're that bad. It
so
is cold. But so anyways, you guys are troopers. Thanks for sticking around. Faith, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at I Wish I Could Tag Faith. They can find the podcast at You're a Podcast on Instagram and that Twitter and FaceSpace.
Yep. And I am also on Instagram at Austin J. Kassler. And then Facebook, you can just look up Austin Kassler. I am on the Twitter.
Yeah.
But not actively. I should up my social media game is what I should do.
You should.
And
here's to another year with you, my dear, dear husband.
Yay.
And hope you guys all enjoy your new year now that it's officially happened 6 days in. And bye.
Bye.